Hello everyone, today we learn how to set up Arduino IDE to program Arduino boards. So Arduino is an open source software which is used to program Arduino boards such as Arduino Uno, Arduino Nano, etc. So first we need to go to the browser and type Arduino IDE and then go to official Arduino website. Okay, so here in the software tab you can see download options. So it's available for Windows, Linux and Mac OS. So mine is Windows here, so I'm just going to go into the Windows and then click on download. So Arduino is open source and it's very easy to program using Arduino IDE. So it's recommended for anyone who wants to take up electronic projects as an hobby. So anyone wants to explore electronics and do some microcontroller projects. So this is the best place to start. So once it's downloaded, just click on the .exe file and agree, click on next, and then install it in the C drive, or you can browse for any drive you want. I just go into the C drive. Yeah, so for advanced users they use assembly level programs and assembly level language, but it's a bit difficult. And for hobbyists and anyone who wants to start microcontroller and microcontroller projects, so Arduino is the best place to start with. And once you are familiarized with the microcontroller and the basics of the coding, you can dig deeper into the complicated boards or complicated programs. Okay, so let it get installed and we'll come back when it's installed. Okay, so once it installs, you can see an infinity symbol here on the desktop. So that's Arduino IDE. Just double click on this and then Arduino IDE window opens. So here you can see it opened with sketch underscore jan21a.ino. So all Arduino files are ends with .ino extension. So whenever you see an .ino file, so that's your Arduino code file. So Arduino code file are divided into two parts. The first part is called as void setup and the second part is void loop. So whatever you write inside this void setup, it's your setup code. For example, if you are assigning any pin configuration, if you want to do any pin configuration, you can write it in void setup. And then we have void loop. So this is the main part of our program. So if you want to run your program continuously, so that piece of code is written inside this void loop. So whenever the microcontroller is powered up, so the code starts from here, the execution starts from here, and void setup is executed once, only once. And then when it comes to void loop, so this section is executed continuously. So that's why it's called as a loop, and this is the void loop function here. Okay, so that is about void loop and void setup, and we have several buttons here. So let's explore this one by one. So first button is called as a verify button or a compile button. So this is used to compile your code. So before compiling, we need to select the board, because the compiler should understand for which board that you are compiling the code for. So so if you just click on verify, you will see that it says no board selected. Select your board first. So close that and then select. To select your board, go to the select board and then type in your Arduino board. For example, let's type in Arduino Uno and just click on OK. Yeah, so once the board is selected, and then when you compile, so it compiles the code, so without any errors. So it also gives the memory of your program, how much space it takes, and the memory for the variables and etc. So all the memory information is available in this output window. So it's called output window, and here the memory related information is available here. Okay, so that's about compile. Then we have an upload button here. So here you can see an upload button, which is represented by the right side arrow. So right arrow. So once you click upload, then the code gets downloaded into your the board which you have selected here. So that's about the upload, and then we have examples. So in files, in examples, you can see some example code which are already pre-written by Arduino developers themselves. So these are some of the example codes. For example, let's see a basic blink program. So in this blink program, it is used to blink an LED which is present in Arduino Uno. So you can see there are it consists of two things. One is void setup, void loop. As you can see, this is a pin configuration. So pin mode, this particular pin is made output, and then in void loop it is made high. After 1 second it is made low, so that's blinking. So this is a simple blink program. So we'll study about this, we'll see about this in the later videos. This is just introduction tutorial to set up your Arduino IDE. Okay, so that's about examples. Then we have preferences. If you are using some other Arduino compatible board, for example Node MCU, you need to do some additional preferences here that we'll see in the later videos. So that's preferences, and then we have in edit, I think that's it here, just about the programming indentation and the format. And then we have sketch. So inside the sketch also you can see verify or compile button and upload button. And then we have also libraries. So if you want to include any library, just go to manage libraries and just type in your library, for example ESP8266. So it's a Wi-Fi module, and if you want to include any library related to ESP8266, just click on install button here. So you can include any libraries here in the library manager. So that's about library manager, and then also you can include a custom library in add files. So then we have tools. So in tools we have something called serial monitor. So if you want to display anything from your code, for example if you want to see an output from your code, so we'll not be able to see on the microcontroller, right? For example, if you want to display something from you want to see any value of something inside the code, so you need a interface where you can see your values. For that you can use something called serial write, which we'll see in the later videos, of course. So once you write the serial write, so here that you can monitor using the serial monitor. So serial monitor will appear here next to your output window. Here you can see the serial outputs which you have written in your code. So the same serial monitor is also available here on the top right hand corner of your screen. Serial monitor, the magnifying icon here. So that's serial monitor, and then we have want update firmware, we have firmware updater, and you can also select board here also. So here you have a lot of boards available, and then I think that's it here. Okay, so after you have written your code and you have compiled it, so it's necessary for you to save it before uploading. So for that, just go to file and then save, and then it just asks the place to save. Just go to desktop, for example let's give a test, and just click on OK, and you can see test.ino. So it is saved with an .ino extension. So you can also see it here. There is a folder called test created, and inside the test you can see the test.ino file. Okay, so we'll close it and then open from here, and our test code opens. Okay, so that's it. That's it for the tutorial on how to set up Arduino IDE. So in the later videos we'll get some boards, and then we'll write our code, the blink code and some example code, and then we'll try to run it on our boards. Okay, thank you.